Hey gang, Mike here. I'm here in my basement. That's where I teach most of the time. And I can't wait to get back to teaching face to face, but I also can't wait to get back to doing more videos for you folks. I've been trying all I can do, but it's really hard when you're a one-man crew. I still appreciate all your comments that you've made, including one special person that I'm going to meet with today. He goes by the stage name TCat. He's a music composer based in Australia, and he produced his first album. Maybe it wasn't his first album, I'm not sure, but he said, Mike, can we use your voice in the album as an intro and outro from the Catalyst video? And I said, well, geez, sure. I think you have a bad choice because my voice sounds so nasally. I feel like I'm a dying calf with a deviated septum. But nonetheless, I listened to the album. Beautiful stuff, real chill stuff you'd like to study to or relax to. And I said, thanks, TCat. And he's like, yeah, it's been doing good. It's on Spotify, yada, yada. I said, wait a second. Why don't we get to meet each other on Zoom? So he's going to wake up in Australia. I'm about ready to go to bed, but I'm looking forward to this conversation where TCat and I first meet face to face. Trust a cloud for this one. All right. TCat, how you doing, my man?
Hey, Mike, good. Yourself, bro?
It is so good to finally meet you face to face, if that's what this is, you know.
It's as close as we're going to get for now, so.
For now, for sure. So I'm very glad to have met you. You know, it's one of those things where when I got into doing video and other forms of artistic sort of tentacles of my life, I've met the most interesting people, and now I get to meet one who's sitting here listening to me talk in the morning, and I'm about ready to go to bed. It's almost fall for you, or it is fall, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're just getting warmed up here. So it's interesting to be, you know, chatting with somebody so far away. So excellent to meet you, my friend.
Absolutely. Likewise. Yeah. Yeah. It's very interesting considering, like the time zone differences and even just the lifestyle differences right now. Because aren't you guys in the middle of the COVID real bad?
Oh, well, we're getting out of it, but I don't know how the east coast of Australia is. That's where you live, right?
Yeah.
Correct. So I don't know how much it's impacted you, but it's impacted us quite a bit. Like, for example, I teach from a computer for the past year. I don't go to campus unless I forgot to get something, you know? So, you know, so it's kind of tough. How has it impacted you folks?
In different areas of Australia, it's different. On my side, we've had like little scares. Like, so honestly, nothing more major than like, I think at the very start, it was like 100 cases, and then it's just been like contained since, because we locked down all our borders and like everything and from every state. So it was very hard for other people to get in here. Yeah. Like even myself, because I live in just across the border of one state and I work in another state. So I had to go through checkpoints every morning on the way to work as well. And and they check you, make sure you're good to go.
Well, that's interesting because we don't have those kind of things here. I guess we're the land of the free at our own expense.
It's a bit too hard. It's a bit too hard. Like, honestly, you guys are a massive country. And it just be a bit too hard, I feel like, to contain it all.
It's also, we have such differences of opinion here in this. I guess we'll get to your music, by the way. We got to get to your music, but
absolutely,
it's interesting to talk to you about how you know, uniform things are, whereas here things are all over the place. And you know, I had a friend from college who died already of it. You know, I'm older than you are though, so so it's very real to me. And you know, I've had people who've gotten very sick. I've had people I've worked with who have gotten it and gotten over it, but they're not the same. So it's very different, but we don't have the ability to sort of contain it, maybe like
Yeah.
an island, a huge island would, you know? So
Yeah,
yeah, I
maybe one
mean,
big continent. I don't know,
yeah,
but
big,
yeah,
huge, not
yeah,
just island, continent. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So
See, that's rough. Like, especially because I have a few friends from other countries that like musicians and stuff like that that I talk
yeah.
to quite frequently, and one of them is based in America, and it sounds really rough. Like he was working at a grocery store at the time,
Oh, that's a
and
tough one. Those are the
yeah, and
heroes.
yeah, it sounded tough, man, but he's been smashing that out. And also I had a friend in the UK, and that sounded even like more intense. Like they weren't even allowed to leave their houses.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like where we've had majority of the time that freedom, when it first hit, that's when they locked us down. They fully locked us down for like 2 months,
Mhm.
and that's what kind of really contained a lot of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, that's a good thing. We're
Mm.
starting to come out of the other end of it. I mean, I've had both my vaccinations now, so we're
Oh,
rolling out the vaccine really hard. That's what these
mm.
little stickers mean to me. My kids are embarrassed by them, but these are the stickers that tell you what time you're allowed to leave after 15 minutes after you've gotten your shot. And then
Oh
they're
wow,
like, Dad, are you going to take those stickers off? And I'm like, no, I'm not taking them off. I don't know.
these are battle scars.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's just this was my freedom, you know.
Yeah.
So hey, so you're a young guy. I'm probably like 2 or 3 times your age, but
Yep. How old are you?
I am
Well,
I am more than I'm 5 if you measure me in decades.
that's good. I mean,
5. I'm
five.
only 5.
Yeah, still have
But
plenty of time.
oh yeah, I mean I've got at least 1.5 more to go. So how long you been playing instruments, and is this your first album, or have you done much more stuff before, or what?
So I'll answer the first one and then I'll get to the second one.
Yeah, my bad.
So yeah, no stress. Essentially, I've been playing around with instruments since I was really young, like 5, but I never really was good at anything. And it's more so I just never had the patience to sit there and really learn.
Hmm.
And I started, so I've been playing with pianos and organs since I was 5 because my nan and my mum played them really well. And then I got a guitar when I was like 10. And I remember just slapping the strings. Like I couldn't really actually play any song, but like I could make my own songs and they were in key and stuff, but like I just didn't, you know. And I kind of really liked that. And then I just ditched it for a few years, well, not even a few years, like most of my high school. And then when I was 18 working in a bar, I was just sitting there. I was like, I really need to learn. Like, I want to learn how to make music. I think I was listening to like Skrillex or something, just some kind of electronic production.
Yeah.
And I was just like, how do they make this? So I
Yeah.
went and I YouTubed it, and I found out how Avicii made his music, and I kind of went from there, honestly.
Yeah, I
But
gotta say, I
yeah.
really love electronic music. I don't know what it is. When I grew up, my favorite band was Devo,
Mm,
and I just liked the advent of the synthetic music, but
yeah.
no one else did. All the purists were like, "That ain't music, man." But I was kind of like, "I kind of like it," you know. And
It,
then
it,
like,
it's just interesting, you know. It adds a whole nother element.
sure
Like
does. Yeah.
you need
So
that, I guess.
yeah. So you must play guitar. I know you must play
Yeah.
guitar, right?
So I do play. I can play guitar. The guitar you hear in my songs though, I don't play those, particularly the ones that are recorded, because I don't have a mic or anything, so I can't actually record it.
Uh-huh.
So I will make the melodies, or even just like a rough idea of the melody I want, and then I'll send it to, because I have a couple of guitarist friends, but one's based in Finland and one's in the UK.
Hmm.
And my Finnish friend, he works with a bunch of producers as well. He essentially just turns it into something like his own little vibe with his electric guitar for me, and then sends it back to me, and we back and forth until we find something that we like. And then I'll mix it into the song and add all the other elements, I guess. But half of them, some of them, I just flat out came up with the guitar and sent him the melody, and he did it for me. But as we progressed with our artistry, I let him have a bit more control in just doing freestyles, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah. So essentially, I do play guitar, but I don't in those songs, and I'm not ever
Yeah.
going to be misleading about that.
No. But you're really kind of a composer, is what you are
Yeah,
more than anything.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a harder thing to do. I
I
mean,
also write the
so
lyrics. So I write all, my majority of the lyrics for every single one of my songs. There's like 2 songs I didn't write lyrics for.
Yeah, excellent. So, and I've already kind of talked to the audience about your music and how chill it is and how much my kids like it and stuff like that, and how light and not heavy it is, and so much of a good brain feeling when I listen to your music. So
I try and bring that I guess like, because I love chill sounds, but I love upbeat feeling. If that makes any sense? So
no,
it's like
it does.
I want like a chill, upbeat kind of vibe in my songs. That's what I usually go for, just to, I guess, have a mellow, like, you know, happy feeling.
Yeah. No, that's exactly what I get from it when I listen to your stuff. And I've probably played your album numerous times over and over and over. And I've listened to it when I grade papers because
thank you.
Yeah, no, and it's actually what I need to listen to, because I'm kind of like, I'm grading papers. I'm like, why are they making this mistake? And then I'm like, oh, it's all cool. They just, everybody makes mistakes. So
exactly. You got to make them to learn, but you know, exactly. I know what you're saying. Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's actually really good to hear.
No, and there's plenty of failure.
Absolutely. And that's something that really helped me go to another level in like just evolving my mindset, was just like, because like, to answer your second question, is this my first album? No, it's my first album, but I've done EPs before and I've done heaps of singles before, and I guess every time I put it out, because I'm doing this all independently as well, like I've got no label behind me. I've just been making these tracks and just
you gotta start somewhere, right?
Exactly. And I've talked to a bunch of labels. I've talked to heaps and heaps of labels, but nothing's really worked out properly. And in my opinion, is I don't want to get ripped either.
Yeah.
So it's and because like I'm actually you're right.
Don't drink the Kool-Aid unless you have to, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, you drink that Kool-Aid when it's your time.
Exactly. Like I don't know. I feel like I've got enough support around me, and I know the right places to get it to. So I've actually worked with people that have worked with labels before, and I have a bunch of really good artist connections, I guess, in that sense. Like I'm blessed to have them, and they kind of just give me insight on how to really take it to that next level. So I've got and also other places, I guess, share my stuff. So that's what's been really helpful. I just email, honestly, I send out like 500 emails. It's like, bang, here's my album.
Yeah. You know, sometimes, like, you know, in some ways I'm much older than you, but my creative life took a break when I got into my career and having a family and stuff like that. And so in some ways I'm probably in the neighborhood of your age creatively, you know, like I've been a stand-up comedian for 12 years, and I've you know,
I can tell that. I can tell that you've got that vibe.
Yeah, well, got that vibe. Yeah, everything's funny, right? Life is funny. You got to kind of
absolutely.
So then, you know, I grew up with a Sony Beta movie, this camera that was like this kind of thing that was a video camera. You know, like it had a VHS tape in it, and me and my friends made funny videos, and then now I try to make science as funny as possible when it doesn't distract. And so it's really, we're all learning, and we're all just infants in terms of what we can do. It's just whether we can live long enough to do everything we want to do. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Exactly. So like it's hard, because like it's just putting those passions first, but also keeping it, like at the moment right now, my mindset is just incredibly focused on, like I've got a lot of stuff going on right now, but like outside of music, but like that's the one thing that's just keeping me like driven. It's like, because I can see it growing, I can see it progressing. I've noticed myself learning from the failures and leveling up every time. And at the moment, like I just dropped that album. I have more than double that just sitting here waiting to go, pretty much, like just waiting for final touches. And
all right, then we're doing this. We're doing this again in a year or two, or whenever it's going to take you.
I was thinking to myself, I was like, I gotta go through Mike's videos and find another intro and outro.
No, you know what? I would suggest using someone who has a better sounding voice than me, though. I would actually steer you away from my.
I like your voice, man.
Okay, yeah, you know what? It's one of those things where I guess if you need a nerdy guy, then I'm okay. I guess there's
You
something,
just,
but I
honestly, I heard it. I remember because I got the idea for like, because not many producers have intros or outros in their albums.
yeah,
They like, it's more of a rapping thing,
yeah,
or a singer. But I ended up like, I was just sitting there, I was like, I want an intro and an outro. You know, I want something cool. And I just Googled catalyst, like the definition of catalyst or something like that.
yeah.
And I went through a couple. I went through like 3 or 4 or 5, and I was like, nah, this isn't it. This isn't it. This isn't it. And I said, like, I hit yours, and I was like, oh, and I hit it, and I like just finished the intro. I was like, yeah, this is it.
I know, and I always try to do something where I use certain kind of same words. Like, let's do that right now. And I'm always like,
Yeah.
let's do it right now. And it's just like, because you need the editor of whoever. Lately, it's me, but whoever. Like, let's do that right now. You need to be like, we're gonna do something, and then cut.
Bang.
Like,
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah.
one of those things where. But then, when you listen to your voice outside your head, you always hate it, don't you? I mean,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
you always
Like,
hate your own voice.
I did vocals, or like just like a sneaky little vocal sample on Lately, the song Lately.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the only time I've ever even been kind of sound with my voice on a track. And I recorded that on my phone.
Yeah, yeah.
And I edited it so much that I can barely even tell it's me, but it kind of just fits the vibe of the song. But I've written and sung songs, and I've showed people, and they're impressed with them. But I'm like, like,
you know what? You don't have to like it as long as everybody else does. That's one thing I've understood is that people would come up to me and be like, I really like your joke about the gang of scientists, and I'm like, I don't like that joke. It's kind of hacky. But they're, what, if they like it, then you keep doing it.
Yeah, it hits.
It hits. If it hits, yeah. I like when you do this, or and they're like, I don't really like that. But then that's probably because you've already discovered that people like it, and now the mystery's gone. And so you need to, I need that next thing that people like, and you can't. It's 1 out of 10 thing. Like, oh man, I'm going to do this song, or trying to think in your world. I'm going to try to do this song that everybody likes, and then I like it, but they don't. But it's new to you, but it's not so new to them, or it's too new to them, and
really,
it's something.
Really good example of that is on the album. The most right now to this day, the most favorite track is "Shoot the Lights Out." Don't get me wrong, I know that's a good track. When I made it, I knew it was a good track. But my favorite is "Calm Breeze," and because I can see the analytics on the track, so from Spotify and stuff, and that's the least played and liked song. And to me, that's probably one of the best songs. And I'm just like,
yeah.
And then like some of the other songs aren't. Like, I personally didn't think they were as good, and they're shooting up. So like you said, the people choose.
I know. I mean, I think I told you that Lightning in a Bottle is my favorite, and then Catalyst too, because of the guitar riff thing, and then that, and because it's like, oh, Catalyst. I don't know if it's like sometimes it might be the title too.
Subconsciously, it's just getting you.
Yeah. So well, that's cool. I've got to learn a lot about you. So you got any questions for me as we're going to kind of wrap it up here?
I'll ask a couple brief ones. All right. So where are you?
What's that?
Where are you?
Where do I live? I live in Dayton, Ohio, USA. Middle of, if you took the United States, you took, if it had a heart, which I think it does, then it's right. They always say it's the heart of Ohio. It's kind of like shaped like a heart, and it's in the left upper quadrant. So south of Michigan, east of Indiana, west of Pennsylvania, right in the middle of the country, kind of.
Very interesting. Very interesting. And are you in school? Are you where you teach right now, the university, or? Yeah,
I teach at Sinclair College, and it's right in the middle of Dayton, Ohio. So kind of a middle-sized city in Ohio. Like, Ohio has 3 much bigger cities, maybe 4. So there's Cleveland, and there's Cincinnati, and there's Columbus, and then there's Dayton, and so. It was the home of the Wright brothers, as I told you in a message. So a lot of other really cool inventions made in this town, but it's much smaller than it was in its heyday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I only really know. I'm starting to learn more about America, but I know majority of it from basketball. Fair enough.
Mhm.
Because there's 30 different teams, east and west, and they're all over the country. So
Yeah.
that's like you kind of really start to get an idea of where things are and that kind of like.
Yeah, you go about 3.5 hours south and west from LeBron James.
Yeah, yeah.
That's where we go, you know. So
Yeah, like that's
yeah.
pretty cool. Like,
Yeah, we're pretty. It's a pretty big state. It's pretty
yeah.
big country. Your country and continent is gigantic too.
Oh,
So
it is, but in comparison, I think because you just got and because you guys are broken up into so many states because there's a lot of people, and there's like it's very I don't know, it's very interesting to be honest with you. Like maybe eventually 10 years from now I'll come over.
get over. Hey, if I'm still around, you're welcome. Come on by.
Absolutely. Come visit
You know, if you want to go to like, drive your way through the country, about 3/4 of the way from LA to New York City. So that's, you'll need a break before you go to New York City. It'll be a good 15-hour drive from there.
That's the funny thing I've actually heard about the more popular cities is that they're not as, I guess, glamorous as they made out to be. Like New York and LA, for example. Like I've heard from a lot of people that there's a lot of homeless and there's a lot of pollution and that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, it's a big headache. Just go to a charming small city that you could have some American type fun in, and some of those things to me are more of a headache than it's worth. But I do like Chicago. I like Chicago a lot. Never had a bad. They always say Chicago's like a LA or New York with real people. So I always enjoyed my time there, and I've not had a bad time. And I've been to LA once, and I've been to New York City many times. So
yeah, I'm not saying that it'd be a bad time. I'm just saying like this is kind of because you don't really know, so you kind of hear that from this side. I guess.
Oh, it's just gigantic. It's the thing is I want to go into the new World Trade Center, and man, the hurdles I have to go through to get there, is immense. So it's a big. I don't know how big Sydney is. That's probably the closest city to you, right?
Nah, so the closest city is Brisbane.
Brisbane, my bad. Sydney's on the other side.
Yeah, Sydney's on the other side. But I live pretty much on Gold Coast, which is like a mini beach city kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, that must be
like
cool.
Apparently, it's like Miami. That's what I've been told. It's kind of like a lesser version of Miami.
There's nothing wrong with that,
Yeah, it's nice.
yeah. I mean, you don't have snow, right?
No, we don't have snow, but I do love snow. So I love snow. Like we have snow down in Melbourne area.
Yeah. Well, you always love snow when you don't get it. And you can travel to go see it and go have it. Yeah, that's a good thing. So we had some 2 weeks ago, and I'm like,
jealous.
Damn, I just put tomato plants outside, and then I had to cover them, So it's one of those things. I'm like, I guess I got that one wrong, but I kept the tomato plants alive. They're zombies.
I love that. Yeah. That's funny. You don't think in that context. I got 4 huskies as well. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and they love the snow. We've actually taken them down there a bunch of times. So.
Oh yeah, that's like they're like this is what we were born for. They're like
they love it. Yeah. They just they're funny with it, but yeah, it's cute.
Yeah, like Frank Zappa. Frank Zappa. You familiar with Frank Zappa?
Yeah. So randomly enough, he's popped up in my on my Spotify. It's like what other people listen to, like your fans, and Frank Zappa is there. And I had no idea who it was until then.
Watch out where the Huskies go. Don't eat none of that yellow snow. That was one of my favorite. He does funny music. You should listen to all the Frank Zappa you could listen to.
I'll suss it out. I'll have to suss it out.
Yeah, definitely do. So, hey, TCat, it's been a pleasure talking with you.
Absolutely.
I'm going to stop recording now and talk to you afterwards. Don't worry, it won't be one of those things. But thank you much for being my guest. I'm going to put this up on the Science with Mike channel because you discovered one of my videos and I discovered your music, and it's been a mutual discovery. And I'm just so happy that during these times we have this kind of exchange when we really need
Yeah.
to make more human connection.
Absolutely.
And I think it's broadened our worlds in some ways, and then in other ways not, because we
Absolutely.
can't see our friends face to face as much as we wanted to, and our family.
Yeah.
But it's been a pleasure talking with you, my friend.
Absolutely. Thanks, man.
Good luck. I
Appreciate
hope your album, the newest album, and I hope your next 15 albums crush it, my friend.
it. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Take care. All right, well, that was our conversation. Real fun stuff. Interesting dude. And thanks again for watching Science with Mike from his basement. I bought that on eBay. All right, thanks.